I could take saving Violin-Chan to a whole new level. Hi guys, welcome. I am back. I've had a break. So today I'm just going to share with you a bit what's happening here at Olaf Grawert Violin Studio. So firstly, I took a whole month off. For a month, I pretty much didn't look at violins, didn't think about violins. I tried a little bit at one point, but why did I do that? I mean, here I am, violin maker. I've now been doing this for 36 years. Why would I take a whole month off and basically forget that I am a violin maker? Well, there's a reason for that. It has to do with a fresh perspective. So if you're always immersed in doing the same thing, you're always thinking about it, you kind of get into these mental loops. And by actually taking some time off doing completely different things, it helps me get a whole new perspective. So firstly, I had lots of family time over Christmas, and which was wonderful. So I saw probably over 30 or more of my family members from all in-laws and everything, and just had a really wonderful time. I spent some time at the beach. I do love the ocean because there's just something magical about the ocean. To me, it's almost like an instant connection to this wonderful planet that we live on. The ocean is just crucial for us to even live and survive. But then also the noise, I have some of my best ideas when I sit by the ocean, usually on a headland or something like that. So that was really wonderful. But then we also took a trip down to Sydney, and you mightn't think it's much, but we've actually had, as you all know, there's something going around that seems to be closing borders at the moment. But finally, some borders were open, and we went down to Sydney and did some things down there. So one of the things we did, we finally got to see Hamilton. Now, I was going to see Hamilton in New York about we were going to see it in about 2 years ago in New York. And, well, that trip didn't happen thanks to, I don't know, they closed the borders for some reason. So next thing was we had other trips planned that we had to keep cancelling. Then we had a Sydney trip cancelled in again because the border got closed. And so finally, we got down there. So it was so wonderful. So we got to see the Matisse exhibition, which is just amazing. I mean, what a genius, He went through his life exploring art, exploring that expression, to try and get his deeper feelings onto paper, canvas, or whatever. So it's very similar to violinists who explore their art and connect to the audience and try and convey a bigger picture, something exceptional, something special. So that was just really inspiring. I spent a lot of time. I spent hours in there. I just found it hard to leave. You know that Jascha Heifetz, who was one of the best known violinists of the early 1900s, and he was amazing, and a lot of people still, he was one of my childhood heroes, but he's still the hero of a lot of great violinists. He just took time off, and spent time with his family, playing tennis and doing all sorts of other things, just to allow him to free his mind so he can, again, look at his craft in a whole different life. So for me, it's done the same thing, and I've thought a lot about you guys, like how I can serve the string community better, what can I do, and so it's going to be in various things. I mean, some is through some of the videos I'll be doing in the future. Yes, I'll try and go a little bit deeper, share some of the ways that are going to help you get even better at playing, understanding your instrument better, and all those things. I'm also working on really refining the instruments that I have in my selection and on my online store to really support you guys. One of the instruments I'm currently setting up is my Hoffmeister violin. I've named it that because I've basically developed this instrument to celebrate the 18th and 19th century of German violin making. And so we've crafted an instrument that really reflects that German mastership. Did you know that at the late 18th century, so the late 1700s, German and Austrian instruments were actually the preferred instrument by a lot of famous players around the world. This changed once Stradivarius and Guarnerius and the Cremonese maker became fashionable again. But around that time, those instruments really suited players. And German craftsmanship has always been extremely exact. Yes, so the Hoffmeister is one of the instruments I'm working on at the moment. I have my Piedmont and Piedmont Master. I'm actually setting up a Piedmont Master for a client in Japan, and I have another one for a client in the United States that I'm sending off in the next few days. I haven't fully opened my shop yet. That's happening on Monday, so probably by the time this video is published, my shop's back open anyway. So this is one of my Piedmont Master violins that I've already set up in the past. Absolutely beautiful, and they're great value for between 2,000 to 3,000 Australian dollars. So that's going to be less in US dollars. The Hoffmeister is a little bit more. But this is one that's actually set up. It's such a beautiful instrument as well. Just wonderful workmanship, and absolutely love it. Now I noticed that TwoSet Violin taught Davie 504 the violin, so that's exciting. I'm a little less excited about his violin. He's actually, have you seen his fingers? He's got like the longest and thinnest fingers. They are so good for violin playing. Like, he could be another Paganini. See, because he's a tall guy like Paganini with like thin fingers. He'd be able to move across that fingerboard. He wouldn't even have to change positions. He can just stretch his fingers. So that's really amazing, and you can see his musically talent. I just wish he had a nicer instrument, with at least the violin. You can see it's actually, and you could hear. I think they still had the tinny strings that you get with the Chinese instrument. It would just be so nice to get that violin and actually set it up for him. That I would love to do that. Davie 504, if you're listening, I would set up your violin for free and get it working really well, because it would make your playing a lot easier and it would sound a lot nicer. I could take saving Violin-Chan to a whole new level.
Let's go and find Violin-Chan.
It would make Davie 504's life so much easier. It's great to see that TwoSet took the time to teach him the challenging piece of music that he learned too. Also, in other things, I will probably do a few more projects with other players, like see what we can learn from other string players about their instruments, their secrets, and it's all about helping you guys get better. A lot of people watching are really enthusiastic players. I've got some great adult learners here as well, which is really exciting. I love the fact that that people are taking up the violin. Quite often, quite a few are actually inspired by TwoSet violin. Others, inspired by other players like, there's people like Lindsay Sterling. She's actually getting the violin out there because the structure of popular music is so much simpler. It's actually really easy to play on the violin, and you can actually sound really good playing popular music. Carolina Prasova is another player who plays popular music. So I think she's classically trained, but she's becoming really popular because she plays the pieces of music that people love. I'm really excited for 2022. I want to play some really beautiful instruments, and there's that moment where you're playing a beautiful instrument, you get so much into it that time just stands still and space just disappears. It's just you, the music, the moment. And that's something really special, and it's good to remember to create that for yourself. I mean, quite often when you're practicing, you're just trying to get something right, and it's so frustrating, and you're working really hard, and you're working hard, and it's work. Just remember, the violin and string instruments, they are beautiful instruments. They're there to play music. And note that the word play is in there, playfulness. So just remember, just take the time every now and then, just stop, play some music you love. And I always recommend that, when you play for fun, play something that's easier than your technical ability. Don't push to the edges of your technical ability, because then you have to focus on your technical ability. But if you're playing something easier, you can focus on the music, on the passion, on the love, and the fun. Just remember, it says play music, like play that to me that invokes the word fun, play. So just remember that. Anyway, for me, it's time to go. I'm going to get into setting up some of these instruments. I'm going to get my son to help me. He is fantastic at doing, he does some of the best pegs that I've seen. They just turn so smoothly when he does the work for me. I've got his workspace set up back there, all ready for him. He also likes his coffee, like me. And he should be in shortly. And you've seen me set up instruments. I'm not going to go through it right now. That'll be another video. So exciting times. I'm really excited for 2022. I think 2022 is going to be a great year creatively. It sounds like it could be a little bit more challenging in other ways, but just remember, remember your love for the music. Remember to, this is a very special instrument. To me, there's something much deeper and, almost meditative, somewhat spiritual to playing and losing yourself in that moment. Just remember that, we have this wonderful gift called the violin and the violin family of instruments. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great year, have an amazing year. Remember to set some goals. It's so important when you set goals for the year and remind yourself of them every day. You will actually reach those goals. I'll share the link to my goal video as well. So you have a wonderful year. And I'm thinking of you and love you guys. I love that you the support you give me, and you'll see lots of videos from me this year. Okay, keep making beautiful music. See you guys soon. Bye.